What's going on, guys? RBG here. I hope you all have been doing well in this new year of 2020 because I absolutely haven't since I've been stricken with this flu. So yeah, that's a bit of a bummer, but we're getting better and it seems like these leaks keep getting better as well. We ended off last year talking about how a sequel to Marvel Spider-Man could have possibly already went into development shortly after its predecessor and how we could be looking at a late 2021 release date. Although some were a bit apprehensive about all of this news, it made sense for the most part. The first game was very successful and Sony's acquisition of Insomniac basically guaranteed a sequel for the PS5. It took the team 4 years to create Spider-Man, with the development beginning in 2014. That would suggest fans would need to wait at least a few years for a follow-up, but Imran Khan, former senior editor at Game Informer and co-host of Kinda Funny Gamecast, claims Sony and Insomniac will shock the world with a sequel announcement very soon. So this was more than enough info to validate this rumor of the game coming out next year. And it looks like our plates aren't finished getting filled with even more rumors, because there's recently been an alleged leak by a Reddit user validating the holiday 2021 release date, with a reveal trailer coming in February of this year. It also talks about how the map of New York will be more expansive compared to the first game, which is crazy in and of itself because the first entry's map was pretty grand in scale. The map is said to be based on the last game, with most of the districts the same, with the added districts of Queens and Brooklyn, the birthplaces of Peter Parker and Miles Morales. So this basically tells you that Miles is going to have a major part in the title in regards to gameplay. Like, I have no doubt that Insomniac has been working on giving him some of his own web swinging animations as opposed to the stealth animation him and Mary Jane shared in the previous game. Considering the fact that the devs took heavy inspirations from the Amazing Spider-Man 2's web swinging physics, I think they'll do the same with Miles, except they'll try to mimic his movements from Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. That would be a dope homage and highlight how reluctant he is to swing from these tall concrete canyons. But moving on, the leak says that there's going to be a Diablo-esque dungeon mechanic coming to the sequel, stating, and I quote, "A bank robbery might occur, but it will differ in enemy placement. Different type of combat encounter, stealth or traditional combat, different types of enemies, different combat layout, and many objectives, etc. This will be featured all throughout the game's crime system, varying each encounter for a high replayability." And I'm totally down with this new approach because if we're going to be honest, Marvel Spider-Man 1 could get very repetitive when it came to how missions were laid out. Besides all the various locations Spidey would visit, you were basically tasked with beating up waves of enemies or immobilizing them through stealth maneuvers. But moving on, let's talk about the game's story because this is where things seem to be a little vague. All the leak had to say about it was that a portion of the game takes place during the winter and Oscorp is going to be involved. And we all knew this was a given since Norman Osborn was one of the antagonists in the first game who was responsible for Martin Lee becoming Mr. Negative. So yeah, that was an obvious storyline that we could see carry on into the sequel. What really has me interested though is when the leak mentions the element of cloning, because as we all know, that's something that has a rich history with the Spider-Man lore. Maybe they could be hinting at a potential appearance for Ben Reilly or Doppelganger Spider-Man. I know I'm probably reaching with those, but a man can wish. Besides those details, it mentions that Marvel Spider-Man 2 will hint towards a wider Marvel video game universe. And if this is true, then it will pretty much consolidate the rumors of Marvel Spider-Man potentially existing in the same world as Marvel's Avengers. Both games seem to have well-established universes where the heroes are experienced, and there are a few Easter eggs in Marvel Spider-Man that left fans speculating on if this version of Spidey would eventually cross paths with Crystal Dynamics' Avengers. But anyways, Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery is also being expanded with the next game, with villains like Venom, Green Goblin, Carnage, Mysterio, the Lizard, Cardiac, and a few more. If you remember in the ending of the last game, Miles got his spider powers. This is going to be an essential part of the story. Just like the first game, Miles will have his sections, but he will play a little differently from Peter Parker. Miles will have a different fighting style and all new powers, and this basically just follows up to what I said earlier. Like, they absolutely have to build new combat and swinging animations for Miles to differentiate him from Peter Parker. He's obviously going to need his signature Venom Blast attack, among other things. Anyways, there aren't any official specifics on the reveal for Marvel Spider-Man 2 since Sony seems to be doing a 180 with opting to back out of E3 this year. Which is weird because E3 was essentially the event to have your eyes glued on when you wanted more Spider-Man trailers. So it's going to be interesting seeing where they go from here and where they're going to reveal this new game. While all of these supposed leaks seem to be believable, we're not even sure if they're legit. I mean, it is from a Reddit user, but something that we need to take into account is that this is the very same Reddit user that predicted that a Resident Evil 3 remake would happen before it was announced at Sony's December 2019 State of Play. So yeah, take of that what you will. But I think that's all I got for you guys today. What do you think of all these supposed leaks? Do you believe them? Do you think we'll even get a reveal trailer this year? Let me know down in the comments below. As always, I ask that you like or dislike the video. It doesn't have to be a thumbs up, it can be a thumbs down. Any feedback is good feedback and will only help me improve on my future videos. But if you really enjoyed the video, it would help me out tremendously if you shared it with all your friends and followers on social media. Sharing really makes a difference and it really helps this channel out. But once again, this is your boy RBG signing out on another video. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.